Hey everyone, hope everybody's doing well, having a great day so far. Please do me a favor and go ahead and share the live stream. Share the live stream with someone else, let them know that we are live. We are excited to go live today and just get into what we want to talk about today. And so, if you feel led to, please do go ahead and hit share and let someone else know that we're going live. This is going to be such a great session today. We are going to be talking about remembering who you are. And I think this is an important one because when we talk about this, it really does put into position quite a few things in our lives. So the topic today is remember who you are. Let me go ahead and make sure that title's up here, and also there's something else I want to share with you as well. So whether you're watching me on, let me see, I am live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And so I hope everybody's doing well today. Something's going on with my Instagram, but we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Whether you're watching me on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, say hi as you come on in. Say hi, drop some hearts in the chat. Let me know that all is well wherever you are all over the world. And so today I want to talk to you about this topic. Remember who you are. Hey. So good to see everybody. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for because I am due to leave the house shortly, but I'm going to keep going until I get a text saying, hey, I'm outside. All right. So I just want to jump on in and get on started. So we're going to talk about remembering who you are. First of all, my name is Rachel-Yvonne McIntosh, and I help high standard women attract and marry the right man by embodying biblical principles, biblical femininity, setting godly standards, and staying covered so you never settle for confusion again. And so today I want to talk to you about remembering who you are. And typically, our subtitle today is learning how to be soft, to be respected and magnetic without losing yourself or raising your voice. These are some of the things that I've learned along the way, and I want to share them with you. So whether you're watching me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, I'm saying welcome to every single one of you. And I am so glad that you are showing up here live. Yes, I can see you all. Good. I'm on multiple platforms at the same time. But I want to just get into this because this is going to be what I like to call a recalibration. Because this conversation is specifically for the woman who feels like she can't speak up without tension, or feels like her softness isn't working, or feels like she doesn't get respect unless she detaches. And I've got 4 points that I want to go through with you all today. And also, those of you that watched when I preached on Sunday, thank you so much for the feedback. I preached on Sunday and I had some great feedback. I was at an amazing church in Oxon Hill, Maryland, and it was an amazing time. We had such a wonderful time. I will share the link to the sermon. I will share the link to the preaching maybe later on today or something like that. And then you can go ahead and have a look. And so today we're talking about this. Remember who you are. I'm going to remind ladies of who you are. And the first thing I want to tell you is that softness that disappears in conflict is not real softness. I know people told you that you can be feminine for the right person and that you can be feminine in circumstances, but that is not true. Whether I'm in the middle of a disagreement, whether I am having the best day of my life, or whether I am preaching or whether I am singing, doesn't really matter what I'm doing. The feminine energy is going to come through regardless of where I am and what I'm doing. And it's important that you understand that softness disappears in conflict is not real softness. So when a woman says that she's only going to be feminine in a particular way, that's because she hasn't fully aligned with who she is. And if you do that as a woman, then you also haven't fully aligned with who you are. Because a woman who is fully aligned and fully integrated with her feminine energy and is appreciative of her nervous system and knows who she is not feminine under circumstances. She just is feminine, period. Period. And I want to be crystal clear on that. Because if you only feel soft when a man behaves or when you receive flowers, I posted some flowers on my Instagram story today. I had quite a lot of messages around that. But it doesn't make you more feminine when those things happen. That should be a byproduct of who you are as a woman. If you only feel soft when he behaves or when a man does something for you, that is performance and not power. Many women present soft. So, for example, there are a lot of women who are physically pretty and attractive. So you'll assume that they're soft because they have a great figure. They have maybe long hair if you like long hair. They have short hair if you like short hair. They are aesthetically looking like a soft woman. And then they open their mouth, you speak to them and you realize, oh, this person is still very much in pain or in denial or whatever. And I think it's important to know the difference because sometimes you don't know the difference. But a woman who presents soft, but inwardly, sometimes they can be tight, resentful, and scared. Softness is not silence, it's actually security. And your nervous system will tell him more than your words will ever will. So my question for you ladies that are watching this is, does your softness collapse when you feel unseen or unheard? And are you scared to speak up because you don't want to seem dramatic? So when you are in that place, you must realize that I must pay attention to how I feel in different situations, different scenarios, so I know how to respond. But in order to be embodied in your femininity, you need to understand that circumstances do not change who I am as a godly woman. The second thing is this: your emotional state reveals your energetic standards. You don't get what you say you want. You get what your nervous system allows. And so if your tone trembles, if your boundaries are inconsistent, if you cry but still accommodate him, he knows the standards are not set. So it's important that you are consistent in your standards. You need to be consistent in your standards. And it's important that men around that are watching this as well, that you pay attention to these kind of signs, because when a woman feels safe and she feels safe in your presence, there's a way that she's going to behave. There's a way she's going to speak. There's a way it's going to feel to be around her. You will know as a man that her standards are not set in stone because of the fact that she'll say one thing but do another. But if we're clear and we're concise, then we are going to be able to see that there are things that we can, the way that we can show up will determine how people respond to us. So it's not just about being too emotional. Sometimes we can be unregulated. A man will not honor you because he doesn't feel the consequences of not doing so. So if he knows that he can get around your boundaries or your standards, then your femininity is not being embodied, your authority is not being embodied, and you're not realizing that actually how I show up is why I'm being treated this way. Thank you so much. That's why I'm being treated this way. And when you actually decide that this is who I am, I get to show up in my authority, in my integrity, and in my authenticity. The second thing the third thing, so we've done point number 1, point number 2, point number 3 is over functioning emotionally is why you're not being pursued. Woo. And I know this can be hard to hear sometimes because we want to hear all the good stuff. We want to be told, oh, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're powerful. Any man would want you. All are true. All are true. However, when you continue to over-explain yourself, or you do emotional labor and you call it love, or you try to manage the situation, that is not you showing up in feminine energy. When you perform to be chosen instead of positioning to be recognized, then you're not showing up in the best version of yourself. And I know it can be hard to hear because we're so used to being coddled, we're so used to being told that it's okay, he's in the wrong, he's the one that doesn't want you and you're too good for him, la 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 la, which could be true. Don't get me wrong, those things could be true. But what actually matters is when we show up in the most powerful version of ourselves and we mean what we say, our actions align with what they know to be true about us. Because a man who's of high caliber doesn't chase neediness. They will respond to peace. And a lot of times in this conversation of like, I was actually talking about this with a guy the other day. Was it like Monday? I think it was. We were having this conversation on Monday, and he was saying that honestly, all he really needs is for his woman to like be his peace or whatever. And sometimes people get triggered by that conversation, but all a man is saying is, are you peaceful? As in your own spirit. So it's never about performing. It's always going to be about your own spirit. So does your spirit carry peace? And I think it's super important that you understand that as a woman, carrying peace for myself is my first priority. So carrying peace. Oh, my voice is gone. Ah, my voice is completely gone. Whoa, my voice completely went for a moment there. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up in just a few moments. And so when you realize that they respond to peace, it is not about you performing or being somebody that you're not. What it means is that when you carry peace for yourself, when you know the peace that you carry, then you're going to be able to give that peace to someone else. You're going to be able to be that sense of peace. So it's never about being outside of yourself. It is always about being yourself. And then number 4 is that he responds to your presence and not your performance. So I talk about, one of my pillars is I talk about sacred seduction. And this begins with how you hold yourself emotionally. And so being the standard is actually about saying less with more impact, letting silence speak, and knowing when to pull back with poise and not punishment. So we don't use silence as a punishment. Yes, this is really good. Carrying peace for yourself is really important. Absolutely. And when you learn this and when you practice this in your own life, you show up much better. So your energy has to say, I know who I am and I don't beg to be seen. So you don't actually need to become more desirable. It's about becoming more regulated. Because when you're already magnetic, you have to learn how to hold your standard when it matters most. And that's where we shift. And so next week, Monday and Tuesday, I'm hosting a 2-day experience called She's the Standard. And this is specifically for the high value woman who is done with being emotionally overworked in love, begging to be heard, feeling punished for expressing herself, and you're ready to magnetize respect without raising your voice, deepen your feminine energy, and so on and so forth. My thing, I was praying about this today, and one of the things I've realized is that we need to remember who we are. And when we remember who we are, we show up in a much more powerful way. When you remember who you are, you show up in a more powerful way. And I want to invite any woman that's watching this today to come and join me for She's the Standard, which is going to be a 2-day immersion that I'm doing. And the link is in my bio. If you're watching me on Instagram and TikTok, If you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, you can see the flyer right there. The design is right there. It's called She's the Standard. And the link to join, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can see the link is scrolling across the top, or you can send me a message and then I will send you the information. It's only $27, and this is going to be next week, Monday and Tuesday, and you get lifetime access to this as well. So if you want to join that, you're welcome to join me. It's only going to be $27. It is next week, Monday and Tuesday, and you get access to the entire thing for forever. Literally, I do lifetime for that, and I'm going to tell you about it now, so you know a bit more about it. Oh, I got lots of roses on TikTok. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it for those of you who are interested. It is called She's the Standard. And what we're going to be talking about in there, so it's going to be a 2-day program with an immersion. So you join the channel, and in the channel you get all of these things. You get, I'm sending a power voice drop on sacred seduction and commanding respect. I'm also going to be doing some scripts that clean up your text and calibrate your tone. There's also going to be a refinement prayer in there to refine and anchor in your divine power. And there's also going to be a clarity prompt to reveal what you're no longer available for. So that's only $27. And then if there are any gentlemen on here that would like to sponsor a few ladies to join, you can, if the link is in my bios here, and also the link is, you can see the link here on YouTube and Facebook. But what you can do for all the gentlemen that are watching, you can purchase tickets for other women and I can give them away. And so if you'd like to do that, you're welcome to do that. They're only $27, and it's called She's the Standard. And I'm excited about this because the reason why is because one of the things that I know I've been called to do is to realize and help women remember who they are. When you remember who you are, then you show up differently. That's why when you go around certain places and you're in certain conversations, certain scenarios, they will say, wow, I've never felt this way before, or I've never been around a woman who thinks like this, or you think differently, or you say things differently, or whatever it is they might say, because of embodying that idea of knowing that you're the standard. And so just to recap what we've been talking about today, I gave you 4 points on remembering who you are. The first point is that softness that disappears when you're in conflict is not real softness. Number 2 is your emotional state reveals your energetic standard. Number 3, when you overfunction emotionally, that is why you're not being pursued. When you're in desperate energy, when you're clingy, when you're needy, those things stop you from being pursued. Number 4, he responds to your presence and not your performance. So it's about who you are as a woman and holding that energy. Okay, so we've already had someone say that they will sponsor 4 women to join us. And so if you would like one of those spaces, you need to DM me today because these are going to go so fast. Thank you so much, San Antonio, for being the first man to sponsor 4 women to join us. And one of the things I will say as well around this is that when you realize that you're already magnetic, a lot of times I saw a video, I don't know if you guys seen this video on TikTok, where this lady was saying that she feels like she's ugly. And obviously she is not ugly. So she's not ugly at all. But it's what she's been programmed to believe because of her results and because of people around her. But when you just get in that place where you realize that as a woman, I already carry everything I need. Like, I'm a woman. That's really, you have everything. So when you do that and you show up, you dress well, you speak well, you have great confidence in yourself, that's what really makes a difference. Because I've seen women who some of you will say are not that attractive, and they get amazing results because of their confidence. So learning to be a confident woman and remembering who you are will bring you a lot of success. All right. And so we're going to be doing that. Let me show you the image of that again. It's called She's the Standard. That's going to be Monday and Tuesday. We're doing that, and you get lifetime access to everything I drop in there. If you are watching and you're saying you would prefer to maybe have some private coaching or private calls with me, I also do calls for men as well. If you would like to ask a woman some questions about relationships and really kind of get a sense of different things, you can also send me a message. And so I'm going to wrap this live up today because I'm getting texts and calls. And so I need to get off this live stream now. So God bless everyone. And I'll be back probably sometime tomorrow if I can. And we'll continue the conversation. God bless everyone. Bye, TikTok. And bye, Instagram. And by Facebook and YouTube. Bye.